The governor is calling his budget the most pro-kid budget in Wisconsin history. So what does that mean? Well, he's proposing extra funding for child care providers. I've talked with over a dozen Wisconsin delegates throughout the week. These delegates hailing from all across Wisconsin say they're ready to put in the work over the next 74 days until November's election. I got a hate comment the other day asking why I only interview Democratic candidates running for Wisconsin governor. And I get why it feels that way. There are 2 Republicans running, and then there are 8 Democrats. I've interviewed all of them. What does 28 grams really look like? Well, using the stand-in of peanut M&Ms, we'll show you. With this amount, you'll likely be fine, but anymore, it's a different story. We're used to seeing our local state races advertised through yard signs like these. But now we're seeing more television ads for them than ever before. The data tells part of the story. Over 1,480 bills were introduced this year. Of those, only 82 were signed into law, and 24 of those were fully vetoed by the governor. Speaking with these protesters, the issues are wide-ranging, talking about Elon Musk to the federal funding freeze to the high cost of childcare. And within minutes of it passing, Governor Evers signed that budget into law. The lunchroom, filled with chocolate milk, pizza slices, and sharply rising debt. I filed open records requests across Wisconsin to track unpaid school lunch debt balances from 2023 to 2025. Now, the School District of Superior tells me they don't track district-wide debt, but here's what I found for the others. The Madison Metropolitan School District saw a 70% increase in unpaid debt.
Good morning. And a new shopper, too.
At Badger Prairie Needs Network in Madison, a line forms before the food bank opens, young children in tow.
I'm working a lot.
That's where we met Alexia. She's a single mom of 4 whose kids receive free lunches at school.
Even just getting them out to school in the morning, it's like, okay, I can get you a snack, but I know that when you get to school, you'll have breakfast and you'll have a snack, you'll have lunch. My children are going to be, taken care of.
But her family didn't always qualify for free meals. She says those lunch bills added up, making her one of the many Wisconsin families left with a negative balance.
It wasn't no $5, $6, $10 bill. It was substantial.
Alexia is here with her sister Alize, who tells me she's not surprised by the rising lunch debt totals.
Come on, look at the cost of food.
Tracy Burton has heard that story before. She's the food pantry director.
Most of the people that are coming to us have 1 or 2 or even 3 jobs.
She's seen a 6 times increase in need since before the pandemic. 25% of their guests are school-aged children. In Sauk Prairie at Bridges Elementary School, students line up for the familiar ritual.
There you are.
Jeff Wright is the Sauk Prairie superintendent. He says debt in his district stays low thanks to community support.
The kids behind me are 6 and 7 years old, and none of them have control over their family budgets.
But even if a child's account is negative, it doesn't mean they're always going hungry. Most Wisconsin schools have policies in place to feed kids, but there's no such thing as free lunch. Wright says school districts are absorbing the costs of those meals, and it adds up.
And so that does have an impact on the classroom, because if the district has to take money from one bucket to clear a negative in another, there are potential cuts that have to be made.
The debt may only climb. If a parent qualifies for Medicaid or SNAP, then their kids automatically get free or reduced lunch. But the Trump administration's Big Beautiful Bill made historic cuts to those benefits, meaning fewer families will qualify for them. The Trump administration did not respond to multiple requests for comment, but a White House release from this summer writes, quote, SNAP was intended to be temporary help for those who encounter tough times. Now it's become so bloated that it's leaving fewer resources for those who truly need help. But that's not the sense for Alexia and Alize. They say these cuts hit home.
There is no reason that our next generation, the generation that's going to be taking care of us and providing for us, doesn't have the essential food to get them through the day.
The nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office estimates 3.2 million people will lose food stamp benefits over the next decade, including 800,000 adults who live with children ages 7 and older.
That's just something we shouldn't have to put on their plates as children.
Just food on the plate.
Just food. Just food.
From Madison, Vanessa Kjeldsen.
Hey, Cayetano, saludos, buenas tardes.
Voces de la Frontera is a Milwaukee-based advocacy group.
Actually today, I've called about 82 people within the last hour.
This pair working with Voces to turn out the Latino vote for Harris.
Saying that immigrants are here eating dogs and cats is something that does not sit well with the immigrant community.
Clarifying that the border and immigration are not the only issues for these voters.
So I think people assume that we're just for one issue, but in reality, we have a whole, just a lot of issues, that affect us.
At Fiesta Las Margaritas in Watertown, patrons are mixed in their support for both candidates.
It's a good idea for the economy, Trump. But for the immigration, we feel like he want to stop, people coming in.
Pacho Vega, a remodeler and roofer, says while he can't vote, both of his sons have decided on Harris.
Camara, because we know Trump already, so we want to see something, to see if something changed.
In Madison, at the Centro Hispano Market, the nonpartisan org Leaders Igniting Transformation is working to register voters.
These pledge to vote cards, if they fill out the PTV, they get free tacos.
On the other side of the market, Erica Palacios is selling handmade llamas from Peru.
¿De cuál de ellos quieres? Este.
As a newly naturalized citizen, this will be her first time voting in a U.S. election.
It's a blessing.
Do you have your mind made up for who you're going to vote for?
Not yet. To be honest, not yet.
She says how the candidates respond to the hurricanes in Florida will decide her vote.
We need a person that needs to know what to do, when to do it, and how to do it.
Do you have PT today? Yeah. Do you have speech today? Yeah. Do you have a lot of therapy, Cade? Yeah. Got it, muscles? I'm mom to 5 boys and caregiver to one that has a rare genetic condition called Prader-Willi syndrome.
95% of rare diseases like Prader-Willi syndrome have no treatment.
I was told by doctors that be prepared, he's going to have a short life.
A mother turned advocate, Katie Murrow, is hoping Congress will extend the Rare Pediatric Priority Review Program to incentivize drug companies to find a cure for her son.
Right now, they see the voucher program as a major financial incentive to develop treatments for rare disorders.
Dr. Stephen Mine, the director of the UW Center for Human Genomics and Precision Medicine, explains rare disease treatments have a small market.
You're not going to create a blockbuster drug that everyone is going to be taking.
So to create a financial incentive for drug companies to still research rare diseases, a voucher program was created. Essentially, if the FDA approves your rare disease treatment, then you can get priority review for another future drug you make for any disease, not just rare ones.
So what you're selling is the opportunity to get another drug on the market about 6 months sooner than otherwise. And that is considered quite valuable.
Drug companies can sell these vouchers to each other for hundreds of millions of dollars, which some critics of the program say could ultimately drive up drug prices for consumers.
I have this hope out here that there will be a cure for PWS.
Murrow sees this voucher program as being one step closer to finding a cure for her son, Cade.
That'd be a great birthday present to Mom. What do you think?
If no further action is taken, pharmaceutical companies will have until September 30th of 2026 to receive vouchers for their qualifying drugs. After that, the FDA will no longer be allowed to give out those priority review vouchers. I got a hate comment the other day asking why I only interview Democratic candidates running for Wisconsin governor. And I get why it feels that way. There are 2 Republicans running, and then there are 8 Democrats. I've interviewed all of them, asking the questions that you want to know. Anything you change? Have you spoken to President Donald Trump since launching your bid? How are you funding your campaign? Talking about affordability, what would you change? You've previously described the Tavern League as corrupt, crooked, the C word. Look, I get it. You're tired of politics. 2026 seems really far away, but this governor's race is a big deal. This is the first wide-open governor's race here in 16 years. It is the top executive office in the state. They can sign and veto laws that directly impact you. They propose budgets that dictate how to spend your tax dollars. They're also the commander-in-chief of the state's military forces. So tune in. I'm Vanessa. I'm the political reporter for these TV stations here in Wisconsin. I'll be posting excerpts from all of those interviews, because you should know more about who wants to run your state. See you soon.